Hello everyone, this is Sarah or Waterlily716 and today I'm going to do a video about hair porosity. Now hair porosity is something that most people don't know about. It's something that doesn't come into the hair typing systems, but it's something that I think is really important for figuring out about your hair. And I'm going to show you guys how you can test for what porosity your hair is and then give you guys some tips and tricks depending on whether you're low, medium, or high porosity on what you can do with your hair and how you can care for it better. So yeah, if you guys are interested, stay tuned. So first, we're going to test a piece of my hair to see what porosity it is. You can test multiple hairs from around your head, but because I'm so sure from my hair's properties, just going to test one hair. And basically what you can do is run your fingers along the strand. Now, porosity has to do with how the cuticles of your hair lie. So say this is a strand of hair. With low porosity hair, the cuticles lie pretty flat and almost closed. With medium porosity, they're a little bit more open. This is good. With high porosity, they're like really open, kind of make your hair feel jagged. So basically with low porosity hair, the moisture has a hard time getting in and out. With medium porosity hair, it's like perfect for the moisture getting in and out. And with high porosity hair, the moisture just going in and out and in and out and in and out. So basically, if you run your hand down the strand should feel fairly smooth. You shouldn't feel too many bumps. You can tell which end of your hair is the end, the one that comes out of your root, because you should see like a little bit of scalp skin on there, and that's the fall curl where the hair comes from. But towards the end of my hair starts to feel a little bumpier. So maybe my hair is porous at the end, but in like most of it, it's very nice and smooth. So that is an indicator that it's low porosity. So let's recap. If you run your hands down and you feel bumps, that means your hair is high porosity. If you feel smooth hair, that means that your hair is either normal or low porosity. And another thing, this is sort of on the forums as I was researching, it's not really on any of the nice articles that I read. But supposedly if you run your fingers down the strand the wrong way, it should squeak, and that means you have low porosity hair. But my hair makes like a nice screechy sound, and it's actually curling like ribbon. This is really weird. So as you can tell from this test, my hair is quite squeaky, which implies that I have low porosity hair. If you don't hear any squeakiness, this probably means you either have normal or high porosity hair. Now that I've done that, I'm just gonna cut off the really healthy part of my hair. Pretty, right? And now we're gonna do the water test. So what you need is a nice clear glass of water, and we're basically going to dunk this piece of hair in it. Take your glass and put your hair in it. If the hair stays on top and doesn't sink, then you have low porosity hair. If it sinks within a minute, according to the internet, then you have high porosity hair. So let's see what this little bugger does. I'm gonna wait a minute and get back to you guys. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's my hair sitting right on top of the water. It's been like 2 minutes and it has not sunk, so again, low porosity. If your hair doesn't sink, this can also mean that you just have normal porosity hair. I'm gonna put the end of my hair now in here and see what happens. So as we can see from the water test, my hair is low porosity. So if you got low hair or high hair, or if you have medium, what does it mean, and what are some other ways you can actually tell from your routine? I'll start with low porosity hair. So low porosity hair, like I said, it's hard for things to get in the strand. So it's usually resistant to heat styling and color styling. My hair is obviously not resistant to henna, it picks it up really well, but my hair is kind of resistant to heat styling. Low porosity hair has difficulty sometimes sucking in moisture. Sometimes it can just sit on top of the hair strand. So sometimes I will apply a deep conditioner or a regular conditioner on top of my hair, and it just does not wanna go in, and I rinse it out and I'm like, well, that didn't do anything. So I tend to use moisturizers on top of my hair and just leave them there. Like in my daily styling routine, I must have my regular leave-in, and I must have my sealing curl keeper with that glycerin in there, which is a great humectant. So one way that you can help moisture penetrate your hair better with low porosity hair is to use heat. And myself, I use my hair therapy heat wrap, which I don't have with me. You can also use just a warm towel when you're doing a deep treatment. instead of like something fancy, or you can use like the Beautiful steamer product. They all work. But I've been noticing lately I forgot mine at school, my heat cap, and it makes a big difference because doing it cold is not the same for my hair. But I'm using my towel in the dryer trick. Just put a towel in the dryer 30 minutes before you're going to take a shower. And then in the middle of the shower when you would jump out and put your deep treatment in, go get the towel and like seal everything with your plastic baggie or whatever. Put the towel on, and the warm towel will stay warm enough, long enough for the heat to really penetrate the hair. If you have low porosity hair, I also recommend the generic value products. Sally's Beauty Supply knockoff of the Matrix Biologic Conditioning Balm, because that is one of the few things that I feel like moisturizes my hair without heat. I think that's why I see most conditioners just like meh. And yeah, the Kick Curly leave-in is also a great moisturizer. But I think those would work for a lot of people, not just people with low porosity hair. Another good thing that Porosity can tell you about your hair is about protein. So low porosity hair doesn't like protein that much because the hair is already really filled in. Because basically when you use protein products or protein deep tune around your hair, the protein goes in and like fills in holes in your shaft. Because low porosity doesn't have any of those holes, I guess it just fills it in too much, and then like none of the moisture can get in your hair, can leave it quite bad. So also for normal porosity hair, that's just normal. You don't need too much protein, but for high porosity, which can tend to be damaged and has a lot of holes basically, lots of protein treatments can be beneficial for you. Then another thing that sort of varies across the porosity types is how long it takes your hair to dry. Because my hair, if I just let it air dry, it takes like 4 to 5 hours. So if your hair takes longer to air dry, it's probably low porosity. But in the normal porosity is in the middle, and then if you have high porosity hair, your hair is going to take less time to dry because the moisture can get out of your hair quicker, but it's sort of trapped in low porosity hair. So low porosity hair, you may want some ways to dry your hair faster, and I talk about these in my videos all the time. So plopping, buy a diffuser for your blow dryer, get a blow dryer, and scrunching out water with a cotton cloth after you style your hair when it's wet. Perfect. They will help your hair dry faster, but there's not too much you can do about that, especially if you air dry. If you have normal porosity and your hair doesn't sound like low porosity hair, then you're just sort of in the golden, and most of the websites and resources just say like this is the best and easiest hair to deal with. You need a moderate amount of protein treatments and a moderate amount of moisturizing treatments. And by the way, you should normally always follow a heavy protein treatment with a moisturizing one, or just mix the two together, because protein, I feel like on anyone's hair, can get overloaded with protein kind of easily. That's all I really have to say for medium or normal porosity. Basically, you've lucked out if you have this type. So if you have figured out that you have high porosity hair, this can be an inherent property of the hair, or it can be resulted from damage. Now, you can't repair damaged hair like I always say, but you can help it with protein treatments. So if you have porous hair, your hair will need more protein treatments than average perhaps. You can incorporate them into your regimen normally. As well, you probably still want to do moisturizing treatments. With that, make sure to seal in the moisture. You can use oils and butters. I've mentioned the LOC method before. LOC is liquid oil cream, liquid being water. So first you have wet hair or a water-based leave-in, then you layer oil, and then you layer a cream product on top, or butter or something. But sometimes I do LOG, liquid oil gel. And I tend to do this just on my second day hair, or my braid outs. Yeah, so I don't even have high porosity hair, and I still sort of seal in the moisture, so that's good for every type. But for high porosity, it can help because as your hair is drying, the moisture can just sort of go away. By the way, guys, the bottom couple inches of my hair did sink. That sort of proves that like the older your hair is, and sort of the ends of your hair is going to be more porous and more dry. The last tip I have for you if you have high porosity hair is that you can do a couple different things to try and seal the cuticle and make it lay more flat. Obviously the protein treatments will sort of help with that. As well, you can do apple cider vinegar rinses, or really anything acidic. I really like to do citrus rinses. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on a citrus rinse. It's really easy. I basically just mix citrus with water or conditioner and then run it over my head at the end of my shower and then rinse it. But it will leave your hair so shiny and really pretty, and it's because it seals the cuticle. One really easy way to seal the cuticle is to run cold water over your hair, but that's kind of burr, so you know. Yeah, that's all the sort of tips I have for if you have low or high porosity hair. Obviously, these tips are like kind of interchangeable. Like if you use one for one type of hair, it won't work horribly or anything, but these are just like specific tips that you may find pretty helpful. If you guys know about porosity and you have a tip for either type of hair, then please leave it down below in the comments. And if you guys tested your hair while you're watching this video, then please leave below which type of hair you have. So yeah, that's all for this video on porosity. I hope you guys found it helpful, and yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Without you, my days are lonely. All I want is you.